Hello, Libra. It's your turn um, for your monthly love reading. I was debating on doing it or not. Um, do I do apologize if I sound like I have a stuffed nose or anything like that. I just have allergies for some reason today. A lot of people have been getting sick here lately, but I think a lot of it is just transitioning into possibly now that we're in October 1st, yay. A lot of different changes in the weather, I didn't say that right, weather or whatever, is happening. I don't know, my allergies off and on since summer has been on and off due to, I think, allergies I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, something I'm eating that may have some yeast in it. That's what keeps coming up for me. Um, I know a lot of people think allergies is because of the weather. I don't think it's that. I think maybe, it could be I maybe need to do some dusting in my house, my guest house that I live in with my fiance. That could be issues. I think what comes up first is, maybe there's something I'm intaking that is causing allergies, like I'm a food allergic, because some people may not realize that, but when you randomly have like sneezing attacks or randomly things come out and you're sneezing not only what you're smelling in the air, it could be also, what you're intaking. Because why is it I noticed this for a while, like certain foods. I would eat it, especially if it's anything that has to do with dairy. Um, I've noticed that whenever I would eat those certain things or intake certain foods, then I would have sneeze attack. Now it was weird this morning because I kind of woke up with a scratchy throat. As it is, I don't know if it's because it's dry in the guest house. Like, we don't have any AC unit. Like, we literally have a fan. So I don't know if it has to do with that or whatever. But yeah, let's get into reading. I am shuffling the cards right now. I want it to be like clear and accurate. So that's kind of why you don't show, or it's not showing anything. It also could be like I was thinking, maybe the creamer that I put in my coffee. Like, maybe if it's not actual, like, gluten free or. Because I notice in a lot of dairy products, I tend to sneeze a lot. Like, I remember one time I had cereal. Like, a few minutes after I had cereal, I started sneezing. One time I had ice cream, and right after I had ice cream, started sneezing. So I think it is allergic to dairy products. So I was thinking maybe that's a way for my body to, you know, kind of give me that indication. It's not it's not taking in like, it's not appreciating what's coming in my body. Eventually, I'm almost done talking. I was just trying to shuffle the rest of these. Um, Eventually, I want to get on a better diet, especially when I start working. I haven't found a job yet, but eventually, when I do find a job, I want to cut out a lot of things out of my diet, which I don't have milk like a lot of people have, like for cereal and stuff. I try to stay away from dairy products because I know it has an effect on my body. My body really doesn't like anything dairy. I eventually want to go. A lot of people go vegan, gluten free. I just want to go, more natural and stick to plant based food, but that's probably going to be in the near future. Eventually, when I plant a garden and stuff, if I ever get into a place with me and my fiance. So A lot of exciting changes happening. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I don't know if anyone's struggling with allergies or whatever. Alright, so I shuffled the card, so I'm going to break it in two sections and see what's coming up for you guys concerning love and romance, or love and relationships, whether you're in a relationship, single, married, uh, in a new committed relationship, kind of in between. There's all kinds of stuff. Nothing's set in stone these days. I'm finding more and more people that they're coming into their own, especially when they're coming into their sexuality. That it really doesn't matter who you end up with, whether you're, a lot of people put labels on things. I get that, but there's really no need for that. It's something I'm learning. I don't know if you're personally learning because I have Libra moon. So I'm right there with you guys. I just feel like love doesn't have any labels, in my opinion. Whether you're bi, whether you're, in a regular committed relationship with a guy or a woman or whatever, there's really no labels. I think people just they have a label for everything just so you can identify with something. But me personally, I'm learning, and ever since I'm learning, like, I think I started recently learning it like almost 2 weeks ago. I'm coming into my place of understanding what love is, and understanding that when you love people, we've had many lifetimes here on earth with people, and I feel like the majority of us don't really understand like what universal love is. And I think we need to get out of this mindset that, we're told at a young age that it has to be with the same sex, or not same sex, it has to be with male and female, when it really doesn't. Because it's like we've had many lifetimes here on earth where we play different roles in different timelines. And if you don't really know what I'm talking about, there's always research about it. But basically, reincarnation, whether you believe that or not, we've had multiple lifetimes. Whether this time around, I was thinking whether I was your sister, mother, father, we played many roles in different many lifetimes. So I feel like, on the human level of, 3D reality, we've all, and different timelines as well, different levels of dimensions, we've all experienced multiple lifetimes with different people. One maybe we were an animal, a species of some kind. It doesn't matter. I just feel like nowadays people put a label on what love is. Well, love is no boundaries. Love is love, regardless, who it is you're with, whether you're in a committed relationship with multiple partners, or you're in a relationship with people just for the company, and that may be your case, Libra. I don't know. I'm getting in weird topics today for Libras. But anyways, let's get into your reading, Libra. See what's going on in your relationship. And I don't want to single it out, like if you're single, just to single it out. Just basic relationship messages coming out in the cards today, for guidance for your relationship for the month of October. It's a very interesting month, especially at the end of the month. I believe we're having retrograded Scorpio. So I don't know if where Scorpio lands in your chart, your birth chart, but do look that up. You can always go to Astro Seeker, or you can always go to cafeastrology.com and always pick up the birth chart there for free. And it will help you guide you on, where does Scorpio lay in your birth chart of astrology. Alright, so it's funny. We have a lot of cards all over the place when it comes to up and down energy. Alright. Give me a moment to think of what's going on for October for you guys. I'm going to pull 2 cards, one for you, one for the other person. What's going on with you inside and what's going on internally with the other person and overall. Alright. Alright, bottom of the deck. I'll read that first. 9 of Pentacles on reverse. Alright, so there could be a mixed match with maybe energy exchange going on in the relationship. Maybe finances need to get stabled out. But I do feel like, Libra, whoever you may be associated with or whoever you're dealing with in a love dynamic, there is a union that wants to come in. Whether that's old, new, vice versa, whatever. I feel like there's a definite need for a union to come in, whatever that looks like. I feel like for you, Libra, you've gotten clarity about this, or you will be getting clarity about this. This other person, I feel like, has not taken action, or they're in not defense. They could be in defense. I don't know. They're looking in on their options of how they want to come in for you. But looks like too, someone may have their back towards something else. Like their focus is on something else. So don't worry. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just maybe their focus and passion is towards something. But I do feel this need to say, Libra, there is this need for union in whatever kind of relationship with you, with this other person. I feel like you may have got quick clarity on the situation before this other person about something. It also could go in a way where maybe you don't feel like there's balance between you and the other person. Maybe that's why in some cases, if this is, a very committed, strong, passionate relationship, there's no forward movement on it. So I feel like at the moment, you're getting clarity that you need about it. But at the same time, Libra, I feel like this other person's not making a move. Like not full committed into it as you are. And they're just focused on other things. They either got, work-related issues, or they're just focused on their passions right now. They're focused on, maybe building stability within themselves. Because I always think of the King of Wands as someone who takes everything, maybe analytical, perceives things for what they are, takes action, but they're not fully taking action, especially if it's in reverse. So I feel like this person wants to take action with you, Libra, but at the same time they're not, because they're focused on something else. And I think that has to do with finances. I think that has to do with goals and trying to get things where they need to be. Now, internalizing, Libra, I feel like you want to expand. So this is kind of mirroring each other. You want to expand with this person, but at the same time, I feel like maybe they're not reacting to it quite yet, because there's still things that they need to get adjusted. There's still things that they need to work on. I don't so much see the High Priestess as a healing card, but I feel like they really need to do some internal, I don't know why the introspection coming up again. That was in your reading for this month, I think, or the next month, or last month. They're trying to do the work that needs to be done in order for this union to come together. But in some cases, I feel like it's just fully not ignoring you, but fully have their attention elsewhere. And I feel like they need to focus on, their inner guidance, their inner voice about the situation, whatever that looks like between you. I feel like their focus is, you know, on not necessarily an object. Their focus is somewhere else when it comes to listening to what's best in the situation, what can they work on, and I feel like they're staying proactive, uh, to get things accomplished. You know, with it in reverse, it's not taking action, but I feel like they're putting their focus on something else in the meantime, if that makes any sense to you, Libra. Alright, so what's going on in the relationship? That's the big question. Alright. Man. Alright, so I feel like they need someone here. Usually when I feel like there's coughing, like it automatically, someone is thinking about someone of the past. Maybe you both are, maybe someone. You're thinking about the loss, but I feel like the loss isn't really there. It's just, you're still trying to process what's been given to you. You're still trying to process about maybe lost opportunities, maybe things that you're trying to still release and let go that have been a burden to you. Or this other person is going through that, where they're trying to, still process it all, still release it, or they still need to do this. Maybe they haven't really done it, or haven't really dealt with the pain of the past of, some degree. Alright, so I do feel like I said in the beginning, someone wants to come in and unify this relationship, whether it's reconciliation, whether it's something, solid, I'm feeling. Also, I do feel like there's a need to speak a truth on, what path you want to take, what ideas you have that aren't set in stone. Because I feel like that could be your biggest challenge maybe this month, is coming up with an alternative. And I don't know why the word alternative motive came to my mind. So I feel like there's a need to speak your truth, maybe possibly with this other person, about maybe the goals and ideas you have to move forward in this union, whether it's reconciliation, whether it's something that you both want to work on, that you're getting clarity about. Alright, so I feel like this is a very strong connection. It could be something that you're still having to deal with this past person, or possible this new union coming in, or reconciliation. It's a very strong soul level twin flame connection. I'm feeling the need to, you guys are both in some way mirroring each other. If that's the case, if it is. I had to pause it for a moment. I just had a sneeze attack. Oh, no, I sneezed. I just sneezed. So I feel like what I was saying, Libra, whoever this person is, whether it's a past person, whether it's a present person, but it's in reverse. There's this need of understanding who and what this connection is for you. I feel like there was maybe an undeniable loss in a situation when it comes to investing and putting your time in something, in I was thinking third-party situation, or a past person that was a very strong connection in some form or dynamic. Or maybe this is what you experienced in the past with this person, that maybe in this life you had to experience the opposite, where someone else is experiencing in a different sense of what you experience, or they're experiencing either or in a past life. So in the past there was some things I feel like, Libra, that didn't go well. And you wanted the victory in the situation, but I think at the same time it was unfulfilled, it was unfruitful, it wasn't achieving your highest goals or expectation in some way, and I feel like it ended up depleting you completely. Maybe it was this Leo that you're dealing with. There's also Aquarius too. Um, I just feel like it was depleting. I also feel like there's a need to get away from a Leo. There's a need to really regain your balance when it comes to your resources, because I feel like maybe you're in worry of your finances and how they're going to play out in the future. But I do feel like there's a union coming together. Regardless of how I'm seeing this person and how they're feeling, I feel like they're just focused on what they can control in this situation. They're focused on fully being themselves and opening up to, new avenues, new perceptions. This could be a past person you're dealing with too, not necessarily someone now. But I feel like they're just focused on passions elsewhere, whatever that looks like to you. Do keep in mind this is a general reading. Alright, so there's a need to let go of this. I don't think past person, let go of something. Maybe it has to do with a Leo. That's what's coming up for me. And releasing the burdens of it, and releasing feeling trapped, not being able to speak your truth on a situation. I feel like for some of you, possibly, you've had to deal with a Leo who wasn't very nice. Maybe that criticized the way you look, maybe criticized someone you know. And I think it's just detaching from this Leo and not accepting it, or coming to terms with it and accepting it for what it is. But at the same time, not getting trapped in what people think. Because I feel like with this energy is coming up for that with the Leo. Some of you want to, venture out on your own. Some of you want to do things that maybe others will question your truth about something. Maybe it has to do with speaking your truth, but feeling at the same time trapped. Like everyone's going to, I don't know, maybe not take you serious. Because I feel like for Libras, we've been going through similar things. I have some sisters who are Libras. I know some Libras myself, personally. Libras in general have been going through a lot, and I feel like Libras want to fully express themselves in a way that they feel like they're fully into their alignment. And I feel like with this Libra energy, Libra season, Scorpio season, it's going to help us Libras to really understand our ways, understand our errors, and understand that we can do anything we set our mind. I just think when it's involving other people, we don't know how to speak our truth when it comes to that. We don't want anybody, maybe we or another person, we don't want them feeling hurt or in pain or forgotten or forsaken. Libra and Taurus, we're connected with Venus. So with that connection to Venus, we're all about balance within ourselves. We're all about balance in a situation. We want the peace. We want to keep the peace. We are peacemakers. But I feel like the problem that we're having as Libras, if you have that placement, is speaking our truth in such a way that people will be able to take us seriously. People will be able to understand, whether it is, understand we have boundaries that we need to set. And a lot of people, like for me, I'm learning too, it's not so much putting these walls up as it is realizing, there's some things that you can tolerate and there's some things you can't. And I think in some way that's a boundary. But I feel like ultimately people are going to have their own opinion of you. I think it's moving past the obstacle of feeling trapped when it comes to your truth, whether it's your truth in what you speak, feel, sense, communication, toxicities. Because I feel like it's getting out of that energy of anything that bounds you, anything that puts you in an uncomfortable position where you cannot speak your truth in some way. And I feel like, a lot of people, I feel like view Libras as the weak ones, or view Libras as someone who can easily be taken advantage in some way. I mean, that's something I'm personally learning too. We're naive, but when you get us in a very uncomfortable position, that could be this. When you get a Libra in a very uncomfortable position when it comes to our truth, when it comes to where we want to go in life, and we've dealt with the toxicity of it, I think that's when the true Libra comes out, the Queen of Swords. Libra, you could be dealing with another air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm thinking more of Aquarius or one. I feel like, Libra, you've had to deal with a lot of toxicity lately with people and knowing your limits with these people. But you don't want to trap yourself. I feel like what you want to do is uncover the blindfold if you've been wearing a blindfold or a mask per se. And Libras are pretty authentic people, but I feel like there's this need to uncover, your true identity to people, to the world, to society, and let go of the toxicity within yourself, or let go of this need to hold on to something that's toxic, whether it's this Leo energy that's not really having your best interests at heart. And I feel like once you do that, you're in your element this month, I feel like. Then you become the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords doesn't put up with BS. But I feel like in the need to say this, Libra, that you've had to put up a lot of BS lately, from toxicity, maybe with family, maybe with friends, maybe with someone in the past. And I feel like there's a need to release this in your relationships. But I feel like, there's just a need to speak your truth. Own up to the Queen of Sword energy. Don't feel like, because this is Libras in a nutshell. Feeling trapped, anxiety's high rated. Maybe you need to take some time out this month, Libra, in your relationships and really untoxify yourself. Whether it's in your mind, whether it's in your thoughts, whether it's in, don't plan for something that you don't feel like you're ready for. Release the demon within you. Release the toxicity. And I feel like this month is going to be okay for you. It's just getting that unbearableness, realizing that you are the Queen of Swords. You are the Queen of Swords, and I feel like it's time for us Libras to get back into alignment. Not in between, halfway there, halfway not. Can't make up our mind about what we're going to do for the next few years. But really own up to the Queen of Swords. And this doesn't have to be necessarily a woman. It could be a man. Owning up to your truth. If people aren't willing to give you that much respect for your own truth, then they're not worth your time. And I feel like that may have happened recently with a Leo. that you wanted victory in a situation, but this Leo was an investment that was poor choice. Or someone was a poor choice or poor mistake, maybe. And I feel like it's owning up to the Queen of Swords energy in your relationships. Because I feel like Libras are about relationships. So all of us are in some way going to be tested. You know, we can easily test our own self. So it's not really people, it's just our own, our own ability to, maybe say no. Our own ability to recognize where we've been giving our power to. Maybe that's what this devil energy is saying. We've been giving our power too much to people, and it's about time to, own up to our responsibility. Get out of this anxiety of the thoughts, the minds, the perception, reality, like maybe fake it till you make it attitude. Like I'm tormented by the sword energy, but you can easily get out of that. Like there's no swords in front of her. I just feel like in our mind we play this trick that we're stuck when we really don't. When we're only entrapping ourselves. And I feel like, a lot of us Libras are going through that. We need to realize, we've been on this journey for some time. And when it comes to our relationships, we really need to own our power instead of giving our power away. Maybe we've gave too much to people recently that maybe wasn't a good investment. Maybe people thought our investment was crap. I don't know. But I wish you both the best. I don't know why I wish you both the best. Wish you guys the best in your relationship for the month of October. And see you guys later. Bye-bye.